Did you know that statistically only 5.3% of people who watch our videos are actually subscribed? So if you could subscribe, it means so much. It's completely free and it goes such a long way. Enjoy the video.
Hello everybody, welcome back to JDA Football. Now we have got live commentary for the game Arsenal versus Manchester City. I'm looking this way because my screen's this way today, and Alex is looking that way because he's always that way. We'll share you the lineups very quickly. Now, if I can just get them up, I'll just switch this around. 1 second. Right. So, can everyone see that? Yes, they can. Right, okay, so the Arsenal lineup is Bernd Leno in net, Hector Bellerin at right back, Tierney makes a return from his injury at left back, Pablo Mari comes in, so does Rob Holding, Mohamed Elneny plays as a holding midfielder with Granit Xhaka, Bukayo Saka plays on the right, Martin Odegaard makes his second consecutive start in the Premier League. At centre attacking mid, Pepe starts on the left. Aubameyang, who of course got a hat-trick last time in the Premier League against Leeds, starts up front. The Manchester City lineup now: Ederson in net, Cancelo at right back, Zinchenko comes in at left back. Right back for Cancelo, sorry. John Stones and Diaz are back together. Of course, the deadly partnership. Gundogan left centre mid, Bernardo Silva right centre mid. Fernandinho as the CDM or holding midfielder. He will be captaining this side. Sterling and Mahrez on the wings, and then Kevin De Bruyne looks like he will play a false nine. So, what do you think of the lineups, Alex?
Well, I've seen a lot of City this season, and it kind of looks like they're playing 5 attackers, really. Like Fernandinho is the only one in a midfield role that I can really see that's going to be sitting back. And even Cancelo will probably get forward and Zinchenko. So I think City are going to look for a lot of goals to expose this Arsenal side, who defensively are not very good at all.
Yeah, we'll get a quick score prediction from you now, Alex. What are you going for?
I think I'm going to have to go 3-0 to Manchester City.
3-0. Anthony Penny is saying 4-0 to City. Now, I will have a timer on just so everybody knows what minute it is. So if I get rid of that. So this is when kickoff will come on. There we go. All right. Hopefully everyone is on. Yeah, all right, that's good. So yeah, this is live commentary for the Arsenal City game, as I said before. So what are we thinking of the lineups, Alex? I know we've just gone in on the City, but what do you think of the Arsenal lineup? Of course, some changes coming in from midweek in the Europa League game against Benfica. Yeah, Benfica. What do you think?
I think it's probably one of the best lineups Arsenal can have in an attacking sense. I know they've got Lacazette on the bench, and Aubameyang, he did score a hat-trick in the week against Leeds, but against Benfica, I think it was one of the poorest attacking displays he's had, maybe even in an Arsenal shirt. So I'd be debating that decision, but other than that, I think Pepe deserves to start at this point. Saka, obviously, and then Odegaard hasn't really done much for them and could supply something for them today.
Yeah, surprisingly, Emil Smith-Rowe misses out, of course, Pepe, Saka and Odegaard as those midfield 3 attacking wise. And then I believe Elneny also comes in. Of course, we've not seen him in a long time. Well, I think didn't he suffer an injury, or maybe I think they kept
who, Elneny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was out for a while. I think he suffered it in a European match, and then he was out for, I don't know, 1 or 2 months. So good to have him back.
Yeah, so 4-2-3-1 formation for Arsenal. Manchester City play 4-3-3 as per usual. It's good to have, for City anyway, it's good to have Stones and Diaz at the back, because I know Laporte came in and he did a job, but I think that Pep wants that deadly partnership of Stones and Diaz at the back, surely.
Yeah, in terms of a defensive duo, I think they've been the most consistent that Man City have had. Not that they haven't been consistent, like all of them. But yeah, they'll be hoping for another clean sheet today.
Yeah, I believe in January those two had what it was like a 9 wins. Sorry, 1 draw, 1 goal conceded. So that was deadly. That was after the United game, I believe, and then I believe Laporte came in. But yeah, the referee is Jonathan Moss. You a favorite of him, Alex?
No, not really. I don't think there's many managers that I really let's say but yeah, Jonathan Moss is probably one of the worst. Did I say referee? Yeah.
You said manager.
Oh yeah, referee. I'm a referee. John Moss, what a guy. He needs to lay off the pies a bit. I'm not sure how he's going to keep. Well, Mancity don't really play counter-attacking football that often, but
yeah, we'll have to see if Arsenal do drop back. The taking of the knee will happen very soon. Willian is on the bench.
It's a nice stadium, the Emirates. I never really see it. Like, when you see it from the pitch, it's much better than when you see it from the stands, I think. But
yeah, it does get called a fishbowl, but doesn't it? I believe.
Yeah. So. Nice design, though. I like it.
Yeah, it is good. So the players do take the knee to unite against racism. And it is kickoff, I believe. Oh, I better get the timer on. It is kickoff now at the Emirates. And Arsenal versus Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium. So Diaz at the back. He plays a long ball out to Zinchenko, of course, the Ukrainian international. It is back to Diaz. Arsenal look like they're staying back at the moment, Alex, as it goes to
Bellerin. I think their main game plan will probably be to defend, which is pretty much everyone's game plan against City at this point. Like, I don't think you're going to score many goals against them, and you're probably going to be attacked quite often.
Yeah, as Mahrez comes on the attack, he swings a ball and it comes to Sterling at the back post. He doesn't get full connection on his left foot, and Arsenal get it away through Bukayo Saka.
Very good build-up play then from Man City. I think Arsenal will have to be more aware of these situations. So they were pretty lucky there. I think if Sterling got a better connection, then it might have been a different story.
Yeah, as it goes back to Ruben Diaz, plays another long ball out to the wing again. Here's Mahrez, who looked to cut inside against Kieran Tierney, who's just come back from injury. Mahrez puts the ball in, it's Sterling, and it's a goal. Manchester City lead. Raheem Sterling with the goal. It took City 1 minute and 21 seconds to go in front. So yeah, that is Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. Alex, what did you think of that goal?
The exact opposite to what Arsenal wanted to start. Like, it's just too easy. Like, Mahrez puts the ball in, and then Sterling's just unmarked in the penalty area. What is he, like 5'7"? And he wins a header against Rob Holding and Pablo Mari. It's not good enough.
Yep. So that's 23 games, 9 goals for Raheem Sterling this season. And Riyad Mahrez played an absolute great ball in. Kieran Tierney, of course, came back from injury. It's his 50th game today for Arsenal, and I'm sure he wouldn't have liked that to happen to him. And we'll get past the ball even to Raheem Sterling. But yeah, Manchester City lead through Raheem Sterling. Do you reckon Arsenal can bounce back from this? It is the first minute, but
if you're going to concede, don't concede in the first 2 minutes. There's no reason why they can't, but judging on that defending, that just can't happen. Like, the ball shouldn't come in the first place, but in the second place, like, the defenders can't be beaten in the air by a 5'7" winger. So, unless their defense sharpens up a bit, then they're gonna probably concede a few more.
Yeah, as Rob Holding goes down and injures, well, not really injures, but Raheem Sterling, goes down. Rob Holding with the push in the back. Of course, Rob Holding used to play for Bolton, which is in the Greater Manchester district area. As a long ball gets played to Mahrez on this right side, he's got Tierney on him again. Will he get past him? Not this time. Plays out to Stones. Here's Mahrez, a nice triangle with Cancelo. Cancelo, of course, played more of a CDM role against you, didn't he, Alex, with the three at the back?
Yeah, I think it was very effective as well. Like they've got Rodri in there, but he's not as fast as Cancelo and he's not as attacking, so it adds another dimension to their play.
Yeah, as a loose ball gets played to Kevin De Bruyne, Elneny presses, but it goes back to Ederson. And Arsenal surprisingly pressing this City team, which we don't see awfully a lot. We see a lot of teams sitting back against City, don't we?
Yeah, I mean it's been all right attacking wise from Arsenal. It's just a shame that they went 1-0 down so early. But yeah, you don't really see many teams pressing this high up from them. Like Ederson was just nearly forced into a mistake there, but he sorted it out.
Yeah, City, of course, they do play sort of a three midfield, but it's normally the fullbacks and Fernandinho who link the play up with Stones and Ruben Diaz just behind them. But it looks like Aubameyang's going to get in that area just between Fernandinho and the two centre-backs of Diaz and Stones.
It's going to have to work very hard.
Zinchenko to Bernardo Silva, who of course scored against Everton and also got an assist. Out to the right to Riyad Mahrez, who will look to come inside against Kieran Tierney. And he does again, but he's played it to De Bruyne and cleared away by Granit Xhaka. Another opening for City, though.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball from I think that's Fernandinho out to Mahrez on the right, and I mean if Kevin De Bruyne's crosses a bit better, that could easily be 2-0.
Yeah, Arsenal have to be aware about that if they don't want to. As another ball's played through, it's a brilliant ball. Raheem Sterling's in once again, and he can't get his foot under it as Arsenal manage to get the ball back with Bernd Leno getting his hands to it. Alex, it was very close again from Manchester City.
What a through ball that is. He does everything right, and then his final touch just lets him down, and Leno's able to pounce on it. But again, that could easily be 2-0. Terrible defending.
Yeah, there was a big gap in that defense between Pablo Mari and who was his name? Holden. Yeah, Holden.
It's a good ball from De Bruyne, but it shouldn't go through Mari's legs.
Yeah, it's just a massive gap that De Bruyne has seen, and if always De Bruyne will expose those types of passes as he did there. Another long ball out to the wing. Sterling manages to get something on it. The returning Gundogan, after he suffered a groin injury, has come back into the Manchester City side. He's been good for them in recent games, hasn't he, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, with Kevin De Bruyne out, they needed someone to step in for him, and he's done a fantastic job. And hopefully, even with De Bruyne in, he can probably get the goals and assists he did get when De Bruyne was out.
Yeah, that will be a deadly three in midfield if they do connect quite well. Here's Mahrez. Pablo Mari surprisingly taking up the left-back position to go and get the ball off him, but City have still got it. 6 minutes in. Ruben Diaz. City players coming to the ball yet again. Fernandinho now. Here's Bernardo Silva. He passes it out to the right-hand side to Riyad Mahrez. He'll look to cut inside against Pablo Mari. He fake shots him, and it's a very, very close effort again from Manchester City and Riyad Mahrez. Arsenal not dealing with it very well down that left-hand side, Alex, are they?
Again, they haven't had the intensity we saw from them from the first 2 or 3 minutes. Like it looks like they've tired themselves out, and they just look scared of Manchester City. Like every time they come forward, they just want to block the shots, not try and tackle them. And again, that could easily be a goal.
Yeah, as the corner's taken quickly, Bernardo Silva plays it out to Kevin De Bruyne. And his shot's not good enough. He didn't get under it, it didn't look like, which is unsurprising. Well, it is surprising, actually, Alex, because we know what De Bruyne is like in those areas.
Yeah, he's been out for a while. You probably expect that from a player who's missed, 7 or 8 matches. And he could have easily took a touch there and maybe banged it top bins, but took it first time. Didn't go how we planned it.
Yep, of course. Pep Guardiola, I've just seen him on the screen then. He became the top, he entered, into the top 10 managers of the most wins in Premier League history as City press with Kevin De Bruyne, and Leonard just gets out in time to Bukayo Saka. He plays out to Tierney on this left side. Back to Saka. Aubameyang will look to make a run inside. Saka plays the long ball over to Nicola Pepe, who manages to get to it. But Zinchenko defends very well and gets up and away, but only as far as El Neni, just outside of the Arsenal box. Here's Bellerin, who of course was on the Times magazine this week, if nobody saw. Here's Xhaka over to Kieran Tierney. Pepe's asking for it at the back post, but it goes out for an Arsenal throw-in.
Bit better from Arsenal this. I think it's the first chance they've had an attack.
Well, Jonathan Moss is signalling here that I think the throw-in should be taken again from Kieran Tierney. Could he be a future Scotland captain?
It looks like it. I mean, Andy Robertson's come into maybe the prime later stages of his career, and Tierney's still got bags of potential. He's not really fulfilled it for Arsenal yet, but give him more time, and I think he will.
Yeah, of course. Some fans have also been saying that he should be the captain at the moment because he's quite leadership material. The passion that they've seen from him, anyway.
Yeah, compared to a lot of other Arsenal players, he's the only one that I've seen really have some fight left into his game.
Yeah,
which is good.
As Odegaard makes his first pass of the game, and it's straight to Zinchenko as Kevin De Bruyne gets fouled by Bukayo Saka. Of course, Bukayo Saka could have played for Nigeria or England nations, but he did choose England in the end. Of course, there is a decision yet to make with another player of dual nationality, and that is Jamal Musiala, who is from Bayern Munich. But we'll have to see what his decision is in the end, because I know he was born he was born in Germany, and then he came over to England in his teenagers years. He has played for England under 21s, and I believe he played for Germany's under 19s. So we'll wait and see what his decision is nationality, and it might be in for the European Cup. No, the Euro. Sorry, got my cups wrong there. Mahrez has gone down from, I believe, Kieran Tierney, but City play on. Oh, that was very close to Ruben Diaz, but it goes to Ederson.
I think they're debating on kicking out of play. Or Mahrez is back up.
Yeah. I think it's one of those challenges that he gets nipped a bit and then he goes down, but he doesn't feel the effects straight after, so it's nothing too serious. It's Fernandinho. Plays it back to Ederson. Zinchenko, surprisingly, number 11. Not many left backs have number 11, but we have seen Rui Patricio have the goalkeeper as number 11. So numbers don't mean anything anymore, or it looks like it anyway. Zinchenko. Stones was asking for it on the right in bags of space. Gundogan still got it though. No Arsenal press. Ruben Diaz plays the ball over to the returning centre-back of John Stones. Oh, De Bruyne with a missed pass there. Here's Granit Xhaka. Can Arsenal capitalise on the counter-attack? Hector Bellerin's making the overlapping run. He gets it to him. Bellerin plays the ball back to Pepe, but Raheem Sterling's there to cover for his left-back, Zinchenko, and it goes out of play for a Manchester City goal kick. I just don't. Do you think Arsenal didn't switch on in those opening couple of minutes?
Well, they looked okay before the first goal, but that was 1 minute 30, and then just from then, I think they've struggled to play passes inside the Liverpool Man City half, and I think that's what has let them down in the opening 13 minutes. So hopefully they can maybe kick on from some of the attacks they've had in the last 5 minutes, but I don't know probably where they're going to get goal from.
Yeah, as the ball gets played over from Granit Xhaka to Aubameyang, but Ederson will just see that into his box. Arsenal trying the long ball, so is City to the extent of going out to the wings. So they're not trying to pass through them, although City are coming to the ball, so that will drag Arsenal players out of position, but we'll see if that can evolve to anything.
What's Pep Guardiola wearing, by the way?
Looks like he's got a grey jumper on, and I know it says "Open Arms" on the back of his grey jumper in red writing.
Is it a charity?
I don't know. It did have a Chinese symbol on it, I'm pretty sure. So here's old Nenny, though. He picks out Odegaard, but City press on Odegaard straight away. I'm sure Pep's ordered that midfield three of Gundogan, Fernandinho, and Bernardo Silva when Odegaard gets on the ball to just go and press him straight away, it looks like. Good 1-2 with Gundogan and Zinchenko. Zinchenko finds the pass to the false nine, Kevin De Bruyne, but he manages just to get it to Ruben Diaz. City players coming to the ball again. Here's Kevin De Bruyne on the edge, and he picks out Gundogan, but just no Arsenal players whatsoever looking at Gundogan, Alex.
No one's marking the run. It looks kind of like they don't know really what their job is. I think he would have been offside if he had latched onto the pass, but good idea.
There's a big balls played over from Bernd Leno, but Arsenal are winning the first ball, but then the second ball with Aubameyang, he's just not getting it at the moment. As Arsenal press yet again. Gundogan's got the most goals since December. A very impact performance. Of course, he's got more goals than Mohamed Salah. I know the struggles that Liverpool are going through at the moment, but
yeah.
Alex will be happy about that win yesterday. Of course, that takes you level on points with Liverpool, doesn't it?
Yeah, with a game in hand, which is very refreshing. I think it is like I don't know how long it's been since we've been in February and we're level on points with them. And we haven't won there in my lifetime, so it's a big occasion.
As Ruben Diaz makes the run forwards, he could have picked out De Bruyne, but the Arsenal players managed to get back to De Bruyne. Of course, City have got Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero on the bench. Of course, Aguero's played 5 games this season and not got a goal or assist in any of them. But it has been a big injury for City, hasn't it? But it's not doubted the performances, has it?
No, I mean, one thing I admire about Guardiola is he's not afraid to change his tactics. Like, even when he did have Gabriel Jesus, he looked at De Bruyne and figured out like a way to admit him into the team in a more attacking sense. And yeah, it's just very refreshing for Man City because they don't really need a striker to score goals. We've seen it in a lot of matches and this one. So very good from Guardiola.
Yeah, of course. Just looking back on the City goal again with a brilliant ball from Mahrez played into Sterling, and no Arsenal players going up to compete for the header, Bellerin or Rob Holding, and Sterling just heads it into that left-hand corner. As Pepe's got it on the right, gets it to the Spanish Hector Bellerin. Rob Holding plays a big long ball over to Kieran Tierney, but João Cancelo wins the header, sorry. Here's Saka on the left. He plays it back to Tierney. Tierney back to Saka. Oh, and Aubameyang just got in the way of Saka's shot. I'm not sure if it would have gone in, but Arsenal making a chance finally, Alex.
Flag. Yeah, it's a very good chance as well. It's just a shame that Aubameyang was there because who knows, it might have gone in. I think it's Arsenal's first shot, and it might be a worry for Man City. They should have blocked that. But yeah, almost 20 minutes in, Arsenal have had a shot, and hopefully it'll pick up their play.
Yeah, it was very good build-up play down that left side, for Arsenal, as Ederson will take this free kick due to the offside of Aubameyang. Of course, a win for City would take them, I believe, 13 points ahead of the rest of the league, which is ridiculous. Although I think Leicester won 2-1 today, that was what it was in the 76th minute. So it would have been 10 points. But if United do win as well, then it stands as 10 points. As Rob Holding's made a mistake here. Here's Sterling on the left. De Bruyne is making a run in behind. It gets played to De Bruyne, but a miscommunication between Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling, the goal scorer. I'm sure that won't happen next time. I'm sure Pep will get them drilled to not happen next time. The City press, of course, on the edge of the box with Bernd Leno looking for options, but he's struggling to find them. Eight clean sheets for Bernd Leno this season. Of course, that's gone straight out the window, so there won't be a ninth for him today due to Raheem Sterling's goal, as Arsenal getting behind here on the left side with Kieran Tierney, João Cancelo just managing to get the ball, and Kieran Tierney can't control the ball, and it goes out for a Manchester City throw-in on this right side.
Yeah, again, Arsenal are getting into those positions, but not really doing anything with them. Yeah,
especially on that left side with Saka and Tierney, that link-up play. It looks like it's working at the moment.
Good play.
As Pepe manages to win it, Elneny goes in, but City pass their way out from the back. City on the counter-attack now. Zinchenko, he's got De Bruyne to his left. He's got Sterling to his left as well. He picks out De Bruyne as Arsenal players come back. He'll play the ball to Gundogan, but it doesn't go through Rob Holding's legs as it comes out to Sterling on this left-hand side. Arsenal applying the pressure, but another loose ball from Kevin De Bruyne that won't find Gundogan. And Granit Xhaka will let it go to Bernd Leno. As it comes to Elneny, who picks it up in the Holding midfield spot. He'll look for Odegaard, but he can't find him due to the amount of City players, all 5 of them pressing. Tierney's free on the left side. Elneny won't pick him out though. He'll look to Rob Holding though. Holding back to Pablo Mari. A risky pass. City come and press again. Leno picks out Hector Bellerin on this right side. He'll look to go inside to find Aubameyang, and it's a very poor first touch, and Fernandinho picks the ball up easily for Manchester City. Ruben Diaz plays it back to Ederson, who's had 14 clean sheets this season out of the 23 games that he's played. Of course, Zach Steffen came in for some of those games in the Carabao Cup as well against United in the semi-finals. It's not a bad record at the moment, is it?
No, it's more than half, like more than 1 in 2 games getting a clean sheet is mad for any team. And then,
yeah,
like if you think, like, we've only kept 5 clean sheets this season, so it's a bit mad.
Yeah, so another crazy stat to add to the Manchester City team this season. Of course, if they win this, it will be 17 unbeaten games in a row in all competitions. But it's not over yet. We've still got a bit of the first half and the second half to play. So anything could happen, especially this season as well. With Cancelo playing the ball to Stones, who surprisingly takes up a centre attacking midfield role as he goes back to Kevin De Bruyne, to the
What ball?
versatile Cancelo.
There's no one there.
Here's Mahrez. Cancelo runs into the space. Nobody can get to him, but Elneny gets it away. Comes out to Stones. Wave after wave of City attacks. It's a great ball in to Bernardo Silva, but he couldn't get it to anybody in the middle, like Alex said before. But City getting in behind yet again, Alex.
Yeah, again, I thought Arsenal were doing quite well. The last 10 minutes they've been okay defensively, but again, they're just being cut open far too easily.
Yeah, I'm sure Mikel Arteta will be changing systems at half time because they have been playing 4-2-3-1, but we have seen in past weeks and months, like the FA Cup, where they did beat Manchester City in the semi-final. They played a 3-5-2. So could we see that at half time, do you reckon?
I think it'd make, I think maybe a 3 at the back or even a 5 at the back would make them much more compact in defence, and that's pretty much what's letting them down at the moment.
Yeah, a City in Arsenal's half yet again. Comes to Fernandinho, though, who will pick that long pass out, and he can't find João Cancelo on that right-hand side. Pablo Mari picks out Bukayo Saka, and a great interception from João Cancelo as City come on the attack. It's Bernardo Silva. He finds Gundogan to get his 12th goal. He doesn't try the shot. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Looks cut in on his left. He gets past Xhaka. And Kieran Tierney there to block the shot from the Algerian. As Mahrez picks the ball still on this right side for City. John Stones picks out Zinchenko. Moving onto the left side now. There's a 1-2 with Zinchenko and Gundogan yet again. City playing keep ball at the moment, just waiting for Arsenal to make a mistake. João Cancelo picks up a midfield role again, Alex, which is not surprising considering, like we said before, what happened against Everton, breaking Everton down.
Yeah, good for good for an attacking sense for Man City as well.
Yeah, as a stats just come up then, and it's 70% Manchester City so far in this first half, only 30% for Arsenal.
Feels like more for Man City, to be honest.
Yeah, the rate it's going now, it does. As Gundogan pressing the holder midfield, Elneny, and they can't pick anybody out. Gundogan, and it rebounds, but Granit Xhaka is there, and it's the City pressing still on again, and Arsenal get very lucky again as Saka plays it to Aubameyang. He looked for the return pass, but Tierney plays a brilliant ball to Saka. Saka's got it's against Zinchenko and Ruben Diaz. He looks to play Aubameyang in. He can't find him, and he tried to find Nicola Pepe on the right. He goes again, but Nicola Pepe will be offside. But it just shows what Arsenal can do on the counter-attack, Alex.
Yeah, it's a very good counter-attack from Arsenal. I don't think Manchester City were really... They didn't really think it was going to happen. They got caught out a bit, but I think in that situation, Saka has to play in Aubameyang rather than cutting inside and trying to play Nicola Pepe. But with a different pass, that might have been an Arsenal goal.
Yeah, of course, if it did go to Pepe, that would be 5 goals in 16 games, but he couldn't get the goal.
Very open game.
Yeah, of course, Pepe has been sort of out of favour, not in the recent weeks, though, as De Bruyne plays a pass. We'll leave that for 1 minute as Mahrez comes on this left side. Mahrez goes inside, and Rob Holding with the vital block in the end. Kieran Tierney manages to get it away from Kevin De Bruyne. Arsenal look to counter-attack now through Bukayo Saka, and it's just outstretched his leg. That's Fernandinho picks it up. But like I was saying before, Alex, Nicola Pepe was out of favour with Mikel Arteta at the start of the season, but now it looks like he's getting a bit more regular game time.
Yeah, I think he's had to alter his style of play a bit to suit Mikel Arteta, and after he's done that, I think he's got into Arteta's good books, and now he's starting even more, which is both good for Arsenal because he is a world-class player on his day, and good for his career.
Yeah, of course, he did come from Lille for 72 million. But he's yet to prove his fee, as most people have said. As a ball's been played in by Stones, but good recovery from Bukayo Saka on this left side. Of course, Arsenal will play midweek like City, but this time in the Europa League. Of course, Arsenal have progressed from the 13 of their last competitions, other than that loss against Olympiacos last season, where they lost in 1-0, I'm pretty sure. It was the first leg, sorry. So they've progressed. So the last 13 games in European games that they've had in the first leg, they've progressed onto winning that tie. So we'll have to see if they can do that. Of course, it is 1-1 in that game. Do you reckon they can do it?
They should have put the tie to bed in the first leg. They should have had quite a few goals, but it's Arsenal. They've done stuff that people can't imagine them doing this season. They beat Chelsea after losing to Burnley and all that, so anything could happen, but most likely I think Arsenal will be the team to go through.
We'll have to see, because Aubameyang did miss a great chance, which would have put Arsenal up to 2 away goals as Hector Bellerin loses control of the ball and goes out from Manchester City, throwing on this left side. 29 minutes so far played here at the Emirates. Still 1-0 Manchester City, with Raheem Sterling getting that vital goal. Zinchenko and Gundogan gets clattered by Rob Holding. Here comes Arsenal on the attack. Kieran Tierney puts the ball in. Oh, and it was a very, very fast shot for Ederson to deal with. But Ederson just manages to get his hands to it as Manchester City come on the counter-attack with Kevin De Bruyne, Saka chasing him. And it's just behind Mahrez, the pass on his favoured left foot there. He'll pick it up against Bukayo Saka. Arsenal got 9 men in the box. Bernardo Silva looked to flick it on to somebody in the box, but Rob Holding got it away straight away. So the half an hour mark has been approached at the Emirates here. Still 1-0. 5 attempts for Manchester City, only 2 for Arsenal. Summed up the game really from those attempts, hasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been atrocious from Arsenal. Like, they've had a good few attempts on goal, but they're going to need more both in attack and defence to maybe break down this Manchester City team.
Yeah, as Diaz picks the ball up in the central spot of defence again, but Mahrez will be offside. Arsenal playing not a very high line, but a high line to play. The City players offside. Of course, City have got 2 strikers, but they aren't playing both of them, with Sergio Aguero and Gabriel Jesus on the bench. What do you think Pep Guardiola's thinking about around that was, Alex? Because we have said about the false 9, but with this Arsenal team, they are playing 4 at the back, so is that needed?
I think Pep Guardiola might have thought that Arsenal were going to play maybe 3 or 5 at the back, so he must have thought, like, okay, let's not play with a striker and like cross it in, and let's play with Kevin De Bruyne as a false 9 and try and break them down instead. But ultimately they haven't, and they've just put a crossing in, and instead of a striker being in there, Raheem Sterling's cut in and got the vital goal.
You can see that they're lacking that aerial ability, though, with Bernardo Silva flicking it on a couple of times and nobody being there as a poacher, so to speak. But yeah, City again, on the attack again. Go on.
That had another dimension to them, but then obviously I'd have to take a player out of another position, and I couldn't really think of who you'd take out.
Yeah, of course. Who would you take out of that midfield? Would you go full on attack, take Fernandinho out of the holding central defensive midfield role, or would you take out one of the centre attacking mids with Gundogan, who scored 11 goals, and Bernardo Silva, who got an assist and a goal in his last match?
I'd probably take out Bernardo Silva because, I mean, they've got 2 or 3 players that play with the same dynamic as he does already on the pitch. So I don't think they'd miss that much, but I'd probably play Bernardo Silva instead of a striker maybe. But
yeah,
ooh, getting a bit scrappy.
yeah. Zinchenko did fire a ball into the box while Alex was speaking, but it was defended very well by Kieran Tierney. And Arsenal do have possession of the ball, which we've not said a lot this game so far. It was Fernandinho with a great tackle, a clean tackle, plays in Gundogan. Gundogan's in, and he couldn't get his foot wrapped around the ball, and Rob Holding managed to just get the foul, and it is play on, says the referee, Jonathan Moss, and it goes to Bernardo Silva, who again can't get his foot wrapped around it for his dribble to get past Kieran Tierney. Just these little mistakes that will add up to a lot in the end for City if Arsenal get a goal, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really used to taking all their chances, City. They're scoring much less goals than they did maybe last season and the season before. And I mean, when they do concede, which is little, it normally ends up costing them, but they're doing well. So
yeah, as Pablo Mari plays it to Saka. Tierney down the line back to Saka, of course, will face John Stones, his English teammate. Saka's surprised that there was no throw-in in the end to Arsenal. But City showing yet again what they can do if Arsenal do make these passing errors.
yeah, I mean, both teams this half certainly have made quite a few passing errors actually, and in the end, nothing's really come of them. But if they were a bit better in attack, both teams, then maybe we could have seen a few more goals.
Of course, Aubameyang getting the goals in at the moment, especially in his last Premier League game where he got a hat-trick against Leeds. And since the start of 2009-2010 season, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is one of 3 players to score a hat-trick in the top 5 European leagues, with Salman Kalou, who of course played for Chelsea, I believe Schalke, and Alexis Sanchez, who of course played for Arsenal, United, Inter Milan currently at the moment, and played for Barcelona in that great team tactically in that 2011-2009 team. As the ball got played over to Odegaard, but he couldn't get the ball was a bit too heavy for him in the end, wasn't it, Alex? And he couldn't control it.
Yeah, it's good play from Arsenal. I think they need to do that a bit more, but I'm yet to see anything from Odegaard in this game. And if Arsenal can get him into the game a bit more, I think they'll have more joy in attack.
Yeah, of course, Odegaard, one of the few players to make his international debut at the age of 15 for Norway. So that's something that he's got. I just realised they need to change the score.
Oh, yeah.
City press Arsenal. Rob Holding, though, managing to beat the press of Raheem Sterling and getting it to Granit Xhaka, who comes to this left side to Kieran Tierney. Yet again, goes up against João Cancelo. Xhaka tried a shot from about 20 yards out, but Fernandinho was the first man straight in front of him to block the shot as City looked to counter-attack, but Arsenal pressed with El Neni. City do look hesitant when Arsenal do press them, though. We saw them with Zinchenko and El Neni.
Yeah, they are kind of struggling to break Arsenal down this today, which you don't normally see from a Man City side.
Yeah, they are getting men behind the ball, but we'll have to see if City can pass through them like they did for the first goal, although Arsenal didn't seem switched on. Here's Zinchenko, look for that pass for De Bruyne, but plays a triangle pass with Gundogan and Ruben Diaz. Of course, came in from Benfica for 60 million and has proved it so far. But he gets tackled by Aubameyang and he wins the ball back very well. But in the end, it was given as a foul. Did you think he got the ball there, Alex?
I thought he did. With the first tackle from Aubameyang, I was surprised he didn't give a foul. But then with the second one, I didn't see anything wrong with it. But John Moss has given the second one as a foul, which I don't really see as the right decision. But
it looks like he's just scraped him on the leg. I believe just before he goes to the ball, Diaz. So that's Jonathan Moss's thinking for that decision. Here's Holden, plays it to El Neni, who's just dropped between the two centre-backs of Pablo Mari and Rob Holden. Here's Xhaka, Hector Bellerin. Pepe will look to make that run, but Bellerin can't find him. Here's Martin Odegaard, who, of course, is on loan from Real Madrid, plays his second ball of the match, and it's not good enough, although Arsenal have still got it. Here's Bukayo Saka, plays it to Tierney on the left. Tierney puts it in. And Aubameyang was in the middle, but Ruben Diaz has got it away yet again for Manchester City as it goes out for an Arsenal throw-in. Just on the centre-back situation at Arsenal, Alex, and we've seen, I think it's like 11 partnerships or 8 partnerships so far this season for Arsenal. Do you reckon it's not very helpful considering the amount of swapping that's going on?
I think it's between that and the fact that the centre-backs that they do have are not the greatest. Like, the only one I'd say is a really good centre-back is probably Gabriel. But other than that, they're all pretty average. So if they can get another centre-back in who works quite well with Gabriel, then I think it could slowly start to shore up their defence.
Yeah, of course, Pablo Mari making his 10th start for Arsenal today, because he was on loan last season and I believe he is on loan again this season. With Rob Holden, who Arsenal fans seem to trust at the moment, also at the centre-back position, as City press yet again. And it comes to Rob Holden. Plays it to Bukayo Saka. Cancelo straight out to Tierney, but Tierney manages to just get the ball past Cancelo. Tierney puts the ball in, tries to find Odegaard, but City yet again, when that ball's going straight into the box, Alex, cutting it off straight away yet again.
Yeah, Tierney's not had that much joy down the left-hand side. I think Cancelo's played quite well to keep him out of the game. But again, they are still getting chances and they'll be pretty worrying for City, but obviously they've not had any clear-cut chances.
Yeah, Arsenal looking to go down this left-hand side quite a lot, with 41% of their attacks so far going down that side and only 26% down the other side. Arsenal look to take the corner, though, on this left side with Odegaard, Xhaka, but there wasn't a second man to it as Tierney heads it back into the box. Gets played to Mahrez on this right side for City, to Cancelo. City will just look to keep the ball with 4 minutes to go until half-time at the Emirates. Gundogan picking up a very defensive position here in City's half, which we haven't seen a lot in this first half. 41 minutes in, like I said before. Bernardo Silva finds Kevin De Bruyne on this right. He puts the ball into the box and it doesn't really threaten Bernd Leno's goal. I think he thought he had it under control and it looked like he did in the end. Of course, Manchester City playing in their white kit with some emblems on. I believe those emblems are meant to resonate with the Hacienda, of course, the 80s scene in Manchester, the club scene. But it looks an all right kit, doesn't it, Alex, as De Bruyne tries to win the ball?
Yeah, I mean, City aren't very afraid of putting out a bit quirky away kits and third kits, and I think in terms of their third kits and away kits from the past season, I think this is one of the best ones.
As Saka plays the ball to Tierney. Tierney puts the ball into the box. Odegaard looks to get it, but cleared by City yet again. As Rob Holding gets it to Granit Xhaka on this left side. Pablo Mari just trying to make a run forward, but didn't threaten the City attack too much. As Arsenal look like they're going into attack mode with everyone in the City half, apart from 3 players, of course, the goalkeeper, Rob Holding, and Pablo Mari as the centre-backs. As Bellerin gets a header to Nicola Pepe, who looks to the back back to Bellerin, but again cut out by City, and Pepe tries again, and it's just gone onto the side netting, and Ederson had that comfortable. It looked like he had that comfortable for the rest of the game. Rest of that attack, sorry.
I'm not sure whether it would have been offside there, Nicola Pepe, but still good play.
Yeah, Ederson just sort of fell to the ground, didn't feel to make a save, and prove him right in the end. City play the long ball over to De Bruyne, who gets out-muscled by Rob Holding, who looks to bring the ball forward in the centre of the pitch. Here comes Kieran Tierney on this left side. Granit Xhaka. Arsenal look to be a bit more urgent in these last minute or so, plus added time, to get a goal before half-time as Xhaka plays the ball into the box. And the alarm has finished. But we'll carry on because I think the alarm was just one minute out. But yeah, as Arsenal come on the attack, Aubameyang can't find it, and Stones has good communication with Ederson, who makes the big kick up. Pablo Mari manages to get something on it to go back to Bernd Leno in net, as El Neni picks the ball up yet again. Of course, 6 of those attempts that Manchester City have tried, only 2 of them have come on target, and only one of 3 of Arsenal's shots have registered. So Arsenal look more clinical at the moment on the stats wise, but through the game, Alex, it doesn't look that way, does it?
Yeah, I mean, in the last 5 or 10 minutes, I think Arsenal have maybe edged it as the better side. City have had to defend more than they have in the entire game, but ultimately, City have had the better chances and should probably have had 2 or 3.
Yeah, as there is 1 minute of added time, 45 seconds left of the added time, with Granit Xhaka playing the ball forwards to Martin Odegaard on this right side. Comes to Pepe, who will look to bring it inside against the Ukrainian Zinchenko. Pepe puts it in, and it was a very weak cross. Ruben Diaz easily clears that out to Hector Bellerin. Here's Granit Xhaka, plays the ball yet again, and Ruben Diaz, the Portuguese, there yet again for Manchester City in that defence, as Granit Xhaka fouls Gundogan in the end. It looked like a fair challenge at first, but we'll see the replay. This is Granit Xhaka's 221 Premier League games for Arsenal. Only scoring 13 in those games. Of course, he is more of a defensive midfielder, but showing what he can do attacking-wise. As Ederson will just play this to one of the centre-backs or go for the long ball as the half-time whistle is looking to happen. As Ederson plays the ball up, and that is half-time here. Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. Raheem Sterling getting the vital goal for City just in the first minute and 20 seconds, I think it was, or minute and 21 seconds, which makes it 1-0 Manchester City. Sterling with his 9th goal so far this season. But what was your overall thoughts of the game so far, Alex?
I think Arsenal in the first maybe 30-35 minutes didn't really offer anything, but from the 35th minute up until half time, I think they may have edged it as the better team. They had a couple of good chances, no clear cut ones, but ultimately City in the start of the first half were the much better team, and Arsenal defended quite terribly most of the time, and probably deserved to be behind at half time.
Yeah, of course. Sterling looked one of the better players in that City side so far this evening. What did you make of Gundogan's performance so far?
He made a couple of good through balls, but he's another player alongside Kevin De Bruyne that I didn't really see in the game that often. I think it was mostly the Man City play was mostly centered around like the defenders like Cancelo and Zinchenko. But again, like Odegaard as well, he's another attacking midfielder that I didn't really see in this game. So hopefully we can see them all more in the second half.
Yeah, of course. Odegaard has had some missed passes. Would you make any changes if you were Mikel Arteta at half-time? Of course, we did talk about whether they should go from a 4-2-3-1 formation to a 3-5-2 to allow Arsenal to expose down those wings even more, like we've seen with Tierney and João Cancelo on that left side.
Yeah, I might think of bringing on maybe a Lacazette to add a different dimension in attack, and then maybe a Willian. I know he's kind of out of favour at Arsenal at the moment, but if he did come in and then maybe beat a couple of players to get into the Man City penalty area and create a few more chances, then it might be quite beneficial for them.
Yep, of course. It has been very interesting so far. It's not been a sit-back Arsenal game, which many people thought it might be, but it has been a very entertaining game so far. It's quite early to say, Alex, but who's been your man of the match so far?
I think I'd go with either Ruben Dias or João Cancelo.
Fair enough.
Just because they've controlled the play most of the time. So
yeah, of course, João Cancelo, we saw him take up like I've said before, a CDM role against you, but today he sort of took up a midfield role on that right hand side so far.
Yeah, be interesting to see what he does in the second half. Maybe like attack a bit more, or maybe defend to hold on to the lead.
Yeah, of course. City, this will be their 17th win in a row in all competitions. They could make that 18 against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Champions League. Do you reckon they will get the win in that match against the Mönchengladbach side who have looked quite good even lately? 7th in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, Mönchengladbach this season in the Champions League, I think they've done really well, but this City team at the moment's nearly unplayable, so I can't really see them getting much out of them.
Yeah, of course, Borussia Mönchengladbach's manager has announced, surprisingly, that he is going to Borussia Dortmund at the end of the season. Do you reckon Borussia Dortmund need that?
Yeah, I mean, their manager at the moment isn't the best. Obviously, he's not had that much experience, but it's hard to say what it'll be like. Specific managers are kind of suited sometimes to specific teams, but they've got the team there. They've got a couple of really good youngsters, and hopefully that he can take those youngsters to the next level and maybe even compete with Bayern in the Bundesliga like they always used to.
Yep, of course. That 2012 final, still a memory in my head of, I believe, was it Robin scored the final goal that got Bayern the win in extra time. Of course, that was a brilliant Borussia Dortmund side, but they couldn't win the Champions League under the current Liverpool manager, Jurgen Klopp. If you have got any questions, we will answer them now at half time. Football related would be the best. But yeah, it's still 1-0 at half time. As I'll just get up the lineups and I'll show everybody what substitutes Manchester City and Arsenal could make at half time or formation changes, like we said before. But I'll get it up right now. So the same teams that we read out before. Would you change anything with the Arsenal team, Alex? of course, they have got sitting on the bench Gabriel, Dani Ceballos, Willian, Cedric Suarez, Lacazette, David Luiz, Emil Smith-Rowe, Matt Ryan, of course, the goalkeeper, and Gabriel Martinelli. Would you if you are Arteta, would you bring any of them on?
I might look at maybe getting Martinelli on for one of the wingers. I think they both played pretty well for me, the wingers, but maybe Martinelli will add a bit more pace to them. Maybe Smith Rowe could have come on for maybe one of the CDMs to add a bit more firepower to the attack. But other than that, I think Arsenal won't really need any changes.
Yeah, of course. Gabriel and David Luiz have played the past couple of games together at centre back, but surprisingly, they've kept they've kept goals out, which is the main point because clean sheets isn't the focus at Arsenal at the moment. But it's surprising how they've brought Holding and Pablo Mari, who's only played 10 games so far than this season, at the centre back positions. It's quite surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, especially for a game as big as this, but I think they're mostly focused on rotation and people getting fitness back, and if it means swapping the defence around, then so be it.
Yeah, of course. David Luiz has played 64 games so far for Arsenal in his career, so he's not fairly new anymore, so he is quite experienced in the Premier League as well. Of course, he has played for experienced European clubs, which helps bring that experience, doesn't it, a bit more, Alex, with him playing at the likes of PSG, Chelsea, that winning team in 2011, the Champions League. Just brings all those characteristics, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of young players that Arsenal have got who probably need some of that experience. And if they can take it all from him, then maybe they'll develop as players and hopefully develop Arsenal as a football club.
Yeah, of course. We saw Kieran Tierney before, and we did say about him maybe picking up the Arsenal captaincy. And I'm pretty sure, because we've seen David Luiz hold the captaincy for a bit now, as well as Aubameyang, but we could see Tierney become the future captain. Would you make Tierney the captain because they have got some other good youth players like Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe on the bench, of course, and Kieran Tierney? But are any of them captain material?
I think Tierney would probably be their best option because he seems very vocal and he is obviously a defender and he can sort players out better than maybe the wingers and the strikers can. So I think he'd be the best option for Arsenal. And then, yeah, he seems like probably the most, not respectable, but people will understand him more than any other of the Arsenal youngsters.
Yep, of course. Emil Smith-Rowe, I think he would be quite surprised that he's been left out considering how well he's done in these past couple of games for Arsenal, especially. Bukayo Saka, of course, has been very good over the past 2 years for Arsenal. It'll be interesting to see if Nketiah and Gabriel Martinelli do come on. Of course, them two in the youth setup, not Martinelli because they bought him from a Brazilian club. But it seems like Martinelli's been there ages, and so far he's only played 7 games this season, although he did have an injury, didn't he? So could Martinelli come in for one of those players? Maybe not at halftime, but I'm just talking about in the future with Pepe on the wing, maybe, or Odegaard, because they are quite experienced, but you've still got the future to look forward to.
Yeah, he's not really showed that much quality for Arsenal since he's been there. But there's no reason he can't develop as a player, and ultimately, if he does develop with the skills he already has, then I think he'll be a very good replacement for them.
Yeah. If you are new around here, please make sure to subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And if you like these live commentaries that we've started today, we'll see how well it does viewing wise and likes and dislikes even. But if you do like it, make sure to like it so we know that you like it, and we'll do more in the future. But yeah, staying with the youth setup at Arsenal, and Eddie Nketiah, of course, he did go on loan to Leeds United last season. He also broke the all-time goal-scoring record for England under-21s with 14 goals. Alan Shearer, and who was the other player? The other player was Francis Jeffries. of course, England players from the past. But yeah, Eddie Nketiah, he's broke that record, Alex. And could you see him still at Arsenal in the coming future, or could you see him at another club, considering Arteta's not in favour of him just yet?
I think he probably needs a loan to kind of develop his career. I think that's the way forward for him. But there's no reason in the future why he can't stay at Arsenal and become their leading striker. So hopefully they have a good future with him. Maybe Saka, Martinelli, and him in front three.
Yeah, and of course you can't forget about Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who's just gone on loan to West Brom. He looks like he's getting game time over there, which is good for him, isn't it? As of course he'll look to take over from Bellerin at that right back position.
Yeah.
I'll just turn my light on because I know it's getting a bit dark in here. I'll just be 1 second. I'm back with light, which is always a bonus. I'll try and get this shared out to even more people via the social medias. Just be 1 second. What did you think of the Leicester versus Villa game, Alex? Of course, Leicester won in the end. I believe James Maddison got a goal and Harvey Barnes got a goal for Leicester.
Yeah, I think Harvey Barnes is starting to fill in for maybe some Leicester players that haven't really started scoring again this season. And it was a very good performance from him. I think Martinez didn't have the best of games he's had in a Villa shirt. He made a couple of mistakes and maybe cost Aston Villa, but they weren't at the same level as Leicester were today, and they probably deserved to lose, but they could have got some out of the game, and they did score with Bertrand Traore, so not all negatives.
No, so yeah, we'll look as kickoff is begging for the second half at this game. We'll look if City can extend their lead. What was your score prediction? Was it 2-1 to Manchester City in the end?
3-0.
3-0. I completely got that wrong. But yeah, we'll see if Arteta makes any changes at half time. But Arsenal need to make a change in order for them to get back into this game.
Yeah, probably an attack is what they most need.
Yeah, maybe bring in an Emil Smith-Rowe who can run the game, like we've seen with like a Jack Grealish, for example.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh? Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were sorting out. I thought you were sorting out your microphone then.
No, my computer charger. What's wrong? I don't know what's wrong. Well, oh well. Don't blame me.
City players come out for the second half in this game.
West Ham winning again today.
Yeah, 2-0. Jesse, was it 2-0? Or was it? No, it was 2-1 in the end, wasn't it? With Jesse Lingard getting the goal and Antonio getting the first goal in 5 minutes. And I believe did Son? I want to say Son.
Lucas Moura.
56th minute, I'm pretty sure that one was. Good for your fantasy team though, Alex. If you've got Antonio, I've not got him.
No, I haven't either.
Oh, I thought you had him. But yeah, second half, Arteta doesn't look like he's making any changes at half-time, staying with the squad that he's got.
I did bench Harvey Barnes though, which isn't the best of ideas.
Everything keeps going down. Just trying to time it a bit as the second half is coming on. Arsenal to kick off. I'm not too familiar with the Arsenal stands. I don't know about you. No.
Aren't they just like called the north, south, and
it's kick off, by the way. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, north stand and stuff like that. Yeah, I know what you mean now. As the second half does kick off, Arsenal with a big long ball up, and it goes up from Manchester City throw-in. So I'll get that timer back up for you all. Let's take this half-time thing away as well. Sterling tries to get past Hector Bellerin, but can't make anything out of it. Just bring this down here. No changes made from both sides at half-time. As Ruben Diaz comes forwards, plays the long ball over to Raheem Sterling. He'll look to put the ball into the box against Bellerin. Sterling against Pepe. Here's Zinchenko with the shot and gone straight over the left-hand side of Manchester City's goal. But shows that City is starting off again the better team, Alex.
Yes, it happened in the first half. City showed the most in attack, and then Arsenal slowly picked themselves back up. Hopefully, Arsenal can pick themselves back up again, but it'll be hard for them. They'll slowly start to be able to press less high, and I think City will be able to break them down even more.
Yeah, as Leno kicks it out, but City have got possession of the ball yet again, but Arsenal managed to win it back with a ball played, but John Stones with the interception coming from centre-back, tries to take up the right-back position, but Mahrez will just go back to João Cancelo. It's very interchangeable, that Manchester City backline, isn't it?
Yeah, good. It just shows their depth that they have. Every single player that comes in looks like a very good defender.
As Zinchenko's in on this left side, he's got De Bruyne in the middle. He goes to De Bruyne. Behind him, though, and De Bruyne, and it's just gone over it was fairly near to the post, but De Bruyne picked the ball up on this left side from Zinchenko, and it was sort of a chip shot over, wasn't it, Alex? And nothing really to challenge Bernd Leno in net.
Yeah, but again, there should be pressing from Arsenal. I don't think they should let De Bruyne have that shot.
Yeah, of course. Will that be another City chance that goes back in, and we'll have to see if Arsenal could get a goal as Saka picks up a very deep position. Tierney, and it's sloppy play by Arsenal again. Manchester City will enjoy those balls all day long. Here's Zinchenko getting a lot of play down this left side. De Bruyne will look for the pass to Zinchenko, and it's a sloppy pass. Goes to Odegaard, who will pass it back, and Pablo Mari to Elneny. And then it's Leno in net, and Arsenal will restart their attack again. It seems to be a slow attack from Arsenal. What we've seen of their attack so far, there haven't been many, but slow attacks, it seems, not counter-attacking, Alex.
Yeah, I think they're giving City time to get back into position and defend very well. So it's not exactly what Arsenal need at this point, but yeah, if it works, it works. But at the moment, it's not working.
Yeah, Sterling comes in and it's a great tackle by Rob Holding, who of course used to play for Bolton and he had a loan spell at Bury. He didn't play many games there, but yeah, that's his backstory of his career. Of course, a big move to Arsenal. Nobody really knew who he was at the time, did they, Alex?
No, it was very exciting when he first came in, but obviously he didn't really get the first team benefits for quite a few seasons, but now he's becoming a regular and a decent defender for Arsenal.
Yep, he'll sure want to break into that starting team, but he's got Gabriel and the experienced David Luiz in front of him. So we'll see if he breaks in. And of course, he's let one goal go in today. Him and Bellerin didn't get close enough to Raheem Sterling in that first minute and 21 seconds. So that might play in Arteta's mind for future picks as Pepe tries the shot, but blocked by Ruben Diaz. He's been exceptional this match so far, hasn't he, Diaz?
Yeah, probably one of the best players. I mean, he's controlled most of the play. He's not let much go past him, and the fouls he has given away, I wouldn't really class as fouls. Obviously, there was that one against Aubameyang, which, yeah, probably wasn't a foul. But
yeah, as Arsenal try some attacks, Tierney tried to put the ball into Aubameyang, but City do come on the counter-attack now with Riyad Mahrez. It's a 3v5. Mahrez, Arsenal players are getting back now. Bernardo Silva on this left side gets it to Raheem Sterling just behind him on the edge of the box. Gundogan will look to go into midfield, central midfield, that is, with Fernandinho. Goes to the right side. John Stones looking for somebody in the box, and it's a ball over the top, but couldn't find Raheem Sterling on this left side as Pepe brings the ball forwards and then goes straight back to Xhaka in the centre of the pitch. Elneny plays it to Rob Holding. There seems to be a lot of passing between these back three of Elneny and the two centre-backs, Pablo Mari and Rob Holding, Alex, doesn't there?
yeah, Arsenal are kind of dictating play this half more than they were in the second, and yeah, they're not really gaining anything from the possession they are having, and it looks like City will be able to catch them on the counter-attack quite a few times.
Yeah, of course, City don't have the ordinary striker, but they are using Kevin De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva's in there as well. Riyad Mahrez is that interchangeable false nine in that centre forward position as Bernardo Silva receives his third booking of the season. Rob Holding, here's Odegaard, who looked like he could have made a turn of pace in behind the City midfield, but nothing came of that, and he passed it back as Saka and Tierney link up yet again. Saka getting past Fernandinho. It's Bukayo Saka. Great block by John Stones on this left side. And then he'll switch it to the right. And Sterling comes away with it again. And is that a very bad tackle by Granit Xhaka on this left side? It is. And he receives a yellow card. As Arsenal look like they were gaining ground, Alex, it slowly comes crumbling down on them again, doesn't it?
Yeah, they get into the good positions, but then the passing in the final third is not the best, and City just win it back and counter them again. And if Xhaka didn't make that tackle, then they probably would have been in.
Yeah, as Xhaka receives his fifth yellow card of the season, 5 more yellow cards, and he will get a match suspension. A lot of City players coming to the ball and exposing them in behind, with the wingers, especially Riyad Mahrez and Sterling, coming towards the ball, and Zinchenko and Cancelo trying to find the play in behind of the Arsenal fullbacks. But it sort of looks like the same Arsenal team. Bukayo Saka's looks like he's getting more of a defensive position, and Xhaka looks like he's coming back as well. So it looks like Arsenal aren't preventing going forwards, but they don't look very convincing going forward, so it doesn't help either way at the moment. As De Bruyne comes forwards, get past Pablo Mari, but Odegaard gets the ball to Leno. A big kick up to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as Ruben Diaz receives it in the centre circle. Plays it to Gundogan on the left. City have got Zinchenko and Sterling waiting on the left, but Ruben Diaz decides to go back to Ederson and restart the play with John Stones. João Cancelo looks like he's taken more of a centre attacking midfield position up, doesn't he, Alex?
Yeah, City haven't done much in attack this half, but yeah, Arsenal have defended much better, and yeah, the City just haven't had much in attack. They had a lot in the first half, and then started the second half. They haven't really had much going forward. Arsenal have been the better team, I'd say, in the second half, but haven't done anything with it. Ooh.
Yep, look like they're sitting back as we are approaching the 55th minute in this match. De Bruyne picks the ball up, and here's Gundogan in behind the Arsenal defence yet again, but Rob Holding with another great last tackle, Alex.
It didn't touch him, I don't think.
Rob Holding?
Yeah, it didn't touch him.
Did he not make the tackle? Ooh,
I think he slid in front of him. I think he slid in front of him, but yeah.
It was more of a influential tackle to make Gundogan's ball go out of play.
Yeah. I haven't seen much of De Bruyne in either the first or the second half, which is maybe a bit worrying, but they are ahead, so I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah, although he has played those balls in behind, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Of course, Kevin De Bruyne hasn't started a great deal this season, of course, because of his injury, with 18 games played, but still an amazing assist tally so far with 10, which is brilliant considering how many games he's played so far. As City look to bring the ball forward again, it's Hector Bellerin versus Sterling. Sterling's got the better of him on this left side. It's Gundogan, and he goes for the shot, and Bernd Leno makes a save to his left-hand side. But Manchester City, yet again, getting in behind the Arsenal defence, Alex.
Yeah, it's very easy for them. I mean, the start of the second half, they looked very compact in defence, but they're being opened up more by Man City now, Arsenal. And I think sometime soon, I think Arteta's going to have to make a substitute because it's only a matter of time before Man City get another one.
Yeah, as City take the corner quickly. Again, Bernardo Silva, João Cancelo coming into the back post was Ruben Diaz, but it comes out to De Bruyne, and it was over the bar just. But Bernd Leno was a very last shot, Alex. But Bernd Leno was just stood in the same position. I'm not sure if he knew what his angles are like there, considering Kevin De Bruyne. We've seen him with a couple of volleys in the past. But Bernd Leno thought he got his angles right. And he did in the end, as Manchester City gain momentum and press Arsenal yet again. And it goes out of play. City have now had 11 attempts compared to Arsenal's 5. So domination City continues so far this season, with only 3 of them, though, being on target. So City do need to be a bit more clinical. And could we see Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero come on, Alex, to make goals, basically?
I'd really like to see Aguero come on, because some of the chances City have had, I think Aguero had put in at least half of them. So it'd be interesting to see if he does come on, and maybe City will get a few more goals. But if he doesn't, I can probably see City getting 1 or 2, but it's a completely different story if one of the strikers come on.
Yeah, as Fernandinho played the ball over to João Cancelo on this right-hand side, but it didn't really trouble Bernd Leno too much as he catches it just on his left side of the goal. Arteta looks like he's shouting to El Neni to just pick up a more of a defensive role as Pablo Mari plays it to the left-hand side over João Cancelo. Tierney's in that little pocket again on this left wing position, with El Neni getting the ball in the centre of the pitch. Odegaard can't find the ball through again. Here comes Sterling on this left side. Odegaard pulls him back. No foul's been given just yet for Manchester City as they play on the left side, as Gundogan will look to come onto this right-hand side. and plays it over to Cancelo. Stones. Ruben Diaz picks the ball up in the centre circle spot yet again for Manchester City. Here comes Zinchenko, though, looks for the ball to De Bruyne as the false nine, but nobody comes towards the ball. And Gundogan making a run in behind yet again, but Zinchenko can't find him. And he picks out João Cancelo, Riyad Mahrez, but Riyad Mahrez can't head it back to any Manchester City players.
I think you'll see it in a minute, but this cross from Tierney's one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah. Here's Rob Holding with the ball over to Kieran Tierney. And Tierney loses the ball out to Riyad Mahrez, who was doing his defensive duties there for Manchester City. Edison plays the ball. Gundogan. Sorry, Karen. Yeah.
It looks like Gabriel Jesus might be coming on.
Yep, I presume. Who do you reckon that's for, Alex?
I can see De Bruyne going off, to be honest with you. He hasn't really offered much in the final third this whole game. But I think it's probably going to be for one of the centre mids. And then De Bruyne maybe drop back into the midfield.
Yeah, of course. We have seen De Bruyne take up vital positions in the false nine over the last couple of games that he's done. He's only got 3 goals this season, though. But like I did say before, he has had 10 assists, which is very good considering he's only played 19 games so far this season. As Arsenal look to go down this left-hand side, but yet again City block it off with Riyad Mahrez and João Cancelo. And Arsenal force back. Granit Xhaka picks out the pass, though, in that pocket of space. Bukayo Saka's got Tierney to his left. He passes it. The ball's been overdone a bit. And Kieran Tierney cannot get the ball into the box. And it's probably his worst cross in an Arsenal shirt so far.
It's nearly got out of the stadium.
I think a ball man will be looking to get that in the tier 2 of the Emirates Stadium. Of course, Aguero's got an outstanding record against Arsenal, 11 goals in his previous 19 games. But Jesus is the man to come on for City. As Alex said before, he thinks it's going to be Kevin De Bruyne. Why don't you let us know now? Who do you think is going to come off for Jesus?
I've seen it.
Oh, you see it? All right. I'm behind, sorry.
Do you want me to say? Or what?
I don't mind. I don't know who it is because I've not come to that bit yet. Xhaka plays it out to Nicola Pepe on this left side. Odegaard, not in the attacking role that he's usually in, but he is in the middle of the pitch, which Arsenal want him to supply the ball to the wings. Xhaka picks the ball up again in the centre circle now. Plays it to Nicola Pepe on this right side. We've not seen much of him this game. We've seen him do a couple of runs, but nothing too special. As Pablo Mari plays it to Kieran Tierney, but the ball goes out of play for a Manchester City goal kick. As Manchester City look to make the change up front with Gabriel Jesus coming on for Kevin De Bruyne. You were right, Alex. So yeah, Kevin De Bruyne going off for his 19th game of the season as Gabriel Jesus comes on for his 13th game of the season, scoring 4 goals so far in the Premier League and assisting 3 times. Started 12 of the games, 16 he's played in total, as the ball's played straight up to him straight away, but Rob Holding had his hands all over him. John Moss gives nothing though, and Gabriel Jesus laughs it off as he thinks it should have been a foul. It's Kieran Tierney, and it's getting a bit feisty here. Kieran Tierney goes in, and I believe John Stones went on his English teammate Bukayo Saka. The captain of Arsenal, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, isn't happy with the referee, and John Moss is going to get his yellow card out here. Depends. It's going to depend who it goes to, and it goes to João Cancelo, the right back for Manchester City. Of course, Tierney looked like he got one to the face there. Just come back from an injury. Oh, sorry, he was complaining that it hit his head, but it actually hit his midsection of his body. And then Stones comes and clatters Bukayo Saka. But yeah, Kieran Tierney, of course, used to play for Celtic, 170 games for them, but then came to Arsenal, the Gunners, to see if he could make his career and make it into Europe a bit more successful than Celtic have done these past couple of years, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing well at Celtic. He was named as one of the best defenders in, maybe even in Europe, but one of the best young defenders. And it was understandable that he went to Arsenal, and he's had a decent start. Kind of needs to show his European class, and then maybe he'll be on even better terms with Arsenal. But he's had the odd goal and assist, but he's not been breathtaking. So
yeah, as that City press yet again with Bernardo Silva taking the striker role there of pressing, but it comes to John Stones, and it was a awkward header that he dealt with there, and he goes out for an Arsenal throw and taken quickly. Aubameyang will look to get to that, but John Stones' recovery, brilliant there from him, as Manchester City defend yet another Arsenal attack in the 65th minute. Those two have been solid at the back yet again, Alex, Stones and Diaz.
Yeah, it just looks too easy for them, like because of their defensive midfield play. Manchester City, they're just able to control the ball, and then any opportunities that the centre backs do get to win the ball back, they always do it. So that's even better for them.
Yep, as City with a long ball from Ederson. So far, the second half, Arsenal have surprisingly had the most possession with 51% possession compared to Manchester City's 49% possession. So it's an improvement possession-wise, but Arsenal, yet again, Alex, need to be a bit more clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, I think both teams could have had a few goals, but definitely Man City. And if Arsenal had been a bit more clinical, maybe if they had Lacazette on instead of Aubameyang, who is another player who I haven't seen this match, then might have even scored a few more.
Yeah, as Arsenal look to take the ball forwards, but yet again, it's being played by that 4 players of Xhaka, or 5 players, Xhaka, Bernd Leno, Pablo Mari, El Neni, and Rob Holding, as Rob Holding passes it out to the Spaniard, Hector Bellerin. Jesus looks to make a turn of pace. Odegaard tries to tackle him. Odegaard's gone down. Jesus has carried the ball on, though. Odegaard getting back to his feet now as City carry on very slowly with Gundogan. Gundogan still playing on, and it's come to Zinchenko as Odegaard seems all right, but he went down quite nervously. If for Arsenal fans, they would have been a bit worried then. As Mahrez plays it to Stones, Fernandinho picked the ball up on the centre spot again, and he looks to get it to João Cancelo on that versatile left foot of his, as well as his right. Here comes Sterling on this left side, not challenging Bellerin or Nicola Pepe coming back to do his defensive duties. As a long ball's played over, but couldn't find Bernardo Silva from the Fernandinho pass. Is there hope for Arsenal? Of course, they have got, like we said at halftime, Alex, they've got Emil Smith-Rowe on the bench, Martinelli and Lacazette. So would Arteta and Arsenal wonder if they could bring them one of them on to make an impact?
I think, yeah, definitely if he did make a substitute, they'd have a bit more firepower going forward. But if he keeps this attack on, I don't really see Arsenal getting anything out of the game. I can't really see them scoring. Like, they've had a fair few chances, but nothing major. Like, nothing I'd expect them to score from. So it's a bit worrying in attack. But I think defensively they've been all right.
Of course, it's fairly new partnership there between Pablo Mari and Rob Holding. Not really seen it so far this season in all competitions, but Arteta giving it a run out, and so far it's only conceded 1 goal, but Arteta will be annoyed at them considering Bellerin and Holding didn't get close to either of those. Bellerin and Rob Holding didn't get close to Raheem Sterling, who got his 9th goal of the season. Can you hear my printer in the background?
A bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought you could because I saw you laughing before, and I was like, all right, yeah.
I was laughing about the game.
All right. Yeah, apologies for the printer. But yeah, Arsenal have got a free kick on this right side. Odegaard to take, and yet again, no Arsenal player going to attack that ball. I would say miscommunication, but didn't look like he had a plan there from that free kick, Alex.
No, it's just a bit. Every ball that Arsenal have had in the final third has been a bit. I wouldn't say hit and hope, but they don't really look like they're going to get it on the end of anything. So it's a bit worrying for Arteta.
Yeah, Sterling tries to get him behind, but Bernd Leno comes out and gathers the ball quite comfortably in the 69th minute for Arsenal. Loose ball from Pablo Mari. João Cancelo's got a lot of space down this right-hand side. Look to expose it. He goes for the shot since no Manchester City plays in the box, and he complains. And yet again, they've brought on a man who is very comfortable in that striker position for City, but he's not getting in the box, Alex.
No, I think they could have had a lot of chances if they had some players that could maybe do what Aguero does on a daily basis, but obviously Aguero isn't fit and Gabriel Jesus has to fit in for him. But it looks like Smith Rowe and Lacazette are going to come on for Arsenal.
Who would you bring them to off for? Sorry.
Well, it looks like Odegaard's one of them.
Yeah, of course, I think Emile Smith-Rowe will take up his position. Of course, there was a big debate at the time, where would he fit in at the squad if Emile Smith-Rowe does continue to play? But he's rotated them around, and it looks like Arsenal have missed them. I missed Emile Smith-Rowe in this match as Aubameyang comes down this left. John Moss says no foul, and another foul gets given, but John Moss says play on. As it comes forwards, and Fernandinho with a vital block. Otherwise, Pepe could have had a shot on goal there for Arsenal. As El Neni passes it to Odegaard, still on this right side for Arsenal. But Manchester City, everyone is in their half. I don't think they'll be defending this one goal lead as Saka comes forward with Tierney. Played to Pablo Mari on this left side. He'll look to get it to Tierney. Lack of communication again between the Spaniard and the Scotsman. That is Pablo Mari and Tierney on this left side. But Arteta keeping the positive vibes for Arsenal. See if they can go forwards and bring some momentum. What are you saying? No, what, Alex?
I don't know if you've seen it yet. Cancelo.
A big ball from Cancelo. And it's volleyed by Ederson. And El Neni with a great shot. But it was very, very far from the left-hand side of the post. But Ederson needs to be dealing with that properly, taking the game seriously a bit more, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 1-0 up. Anything could happen from this position. Like, they aren't immune to conceding, so they have to be more smart with their play. They haven't really done anything in the second half in terms of attacking, so they can't act like they've won the game already. Yep,
as Alex said, Odegaard is coming off for, we believe, Emile Smith-Rowe, even though he has come off for Lacazette. And Emile Smith-Rowe will come on for Nicola Pepe, of course, played 16 games. This is his 17th for Arsenal so far. Emile Smith-Rowe comes in for Arsenal. Of course, he is nicknamed the Croydon De Bruyne by many, but De Bruyne has sadly gone off the pitch as the Stockport Iniesta is on the other side on the bench, Phil Foden for Manchester City. So that'll be very interesting to see how they play out. That, of course, is if Phil Foden does come on. We'll wait and see.
And the Scouts Pirlo won the Merseyside derby yesterday, so it's all good.
Which is Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Tom Davis.
Tom
Davis.
You said won
Scouts
it, so I thought they might have scored. As Mahrez comes down this right side, Bernardo Silva looks to play it back. It's John Stones. City just resetting the attack. Ruben Diaz on the edge of the centre circle in Arsenal's half. Zinchenko to Sterling on this left side. As Bernardo Silva's coming deep to pick the ball up for Manchester City, just on the halfway line. Plays it to Fernandinho. Plays it to Ruben Diaz, both in the centre circle. Ruben Diaz goes into the pocket of space that Arsenal have left, and he keeps going. No Arsenal players getting near him, but he goes to the right side to Riyad Mahrez. He passes it to João Cancelo. Great piece of dribbling there from João Cancelo, and it ends up as a Manchester City free kick. Fernandinho picking the ball up a bit more now for City in that holding midfield spot. 74th minute we're in at the moment. Of course, Lacazette did come on for what we think Nicola Pepe for the position-wise. And it'll be interesting to see what positions Lacazette picks up. But yeah, like I said, we'll have to wait and see what position he takes up.
It looks like they have two strikers now, Arsenal. I don't know whether Aubameyang's playing on the left and Lacazette up front.
Yeah. Could be getting rid of a winger, so they could be going for a diamond in midfield, maybe. Of course, we've seen that against City before with Manchester United in the derby, in the Carabao Cup, as Arsenal come down this left-hand side with Aubameyang. 15 minutes to go at the Emirates, plus added time. Still 1-0 Manchester City. Raheem Sterling presses Rob Holding, and Raheem Sterling, of course, got the vital goal as Rob Holding clatters into Fernandinho. But Arsenal play on with Aubameyang picking up on this left wing position. Lacazette looks like he's moved into Aubameyang's position in the central spot. Xhaka plays the ball in behind to Aubameyang. Here's Bukayo Saka, and he slipped at the vital moment in the Manchester City box as Elneny looks like he's fouled Sterling there. But Arsenal getting another chance, but again, the small mistakes pay big in the end, Alex.
Yeah, it's another chance for Arsenal. They really should have been doing better with it. Again, they didn't really get a proper shot off at goal. But Man City are living on strings. Like, Arsenal just need one chance to score and they've equalised. Like, it's not that comfortable for them. And Man City in the second half, I haven't seen anything from them in attack, which will definitely bode well for Arsenal, I think. They've been quite good defensively throughout the game, but they are losing 1-0. I think I'm a bit ahead. I've just seen
I think
something.
Arsenal are growing into this game even more. Maybe they've left it a bit too late, but then again, they still have got 13 minutes to go. The City players structured very well in the midfield as they go out to press the wings. With Elneny, the holding midfielder, having to drop even more to help Arsenal have a bit more possession in the middle of the pitch as they find Aubameyang, who comes very deep in his pink boots, who plays it over from Leno to Rob Holding. Here's the Egyptian, Elneny. Kieran Tierney, fake against João Cancelo there. Of course, the Euros are coming up. Lacazette will looking to be breaking into that French team. He's got some players against him that want to take his position in that French team, including the likes of Olivier Giroud, who hasn't started that many games. But you've also got Anthony Martial, Griezmann, and I believe, is it Andre Player is meant to be playing quite well for Borussia Mönchengladbach. So we could see.
You even say that Mbappe's in that position.
Yeah, or Mbappe plays on the wing, but yeah, like that, Mbappe is very versatile on the left wing, right wing, striker, and I'm pretty sure he could do a job for you in the attacking midfield role. So yeah, we'll see if. Do you reckon Lacazette could break into that squad as City come forward?
It's going to be hard, but yeah, it probably could.
Yeah, João Cancelo, and that's a foul on Rob Holding, but I think Manchester City will play on here with Gabriel Jesus on this right-hand side. He goes across El Nene, looking for support. Here's João Cancelo, a great first fake shot, and it's just gone past the post by João Cancelo with the outside of a toe boot, just gone outside of that left post for Arsenal. But worrying signs for Arsenal as they look like they're growing into the game, but then leaving spaces in behind, Alex.
Yeah, they've been probably the better side the second half, and then the moment that Man City put on the burners, they get a chance, and they really should have scored. I think Rob Holding's going to be coming off, though. He looks very injured.
Who will he be coming on for? Do you reckon?
David Luiz, probably.
David Luiz.
Well, maybe Gabriel, but I don't know what's wrong with him that he's not starting. So
because this could play into Arsenal's hands if Rob Holding does come off, because you could get a back three with Hector Bellerin, Kieran Tierney, who has played there before, and Pablo Mari, and you could bring an extra attacker on or a wing back. So it could play into Arsenal's hands, but it depends if Mikel Arteta is willing to take that risk and play a 3-5-2 formation instead of his 4-2-3-1 that he looks like he's playing at the moment, or Diamond, we said before, don't we? But I think Arsenal will be annoyed that they let that first goal in, Alex, in those first couple of minutes.
Yeah, they've not conceded many chances since then. Like, I think Cancelo's come the closest. And if they hadn't have defended that badly inside the first 2 minutes, then they'd be level. But ultimately, they haven't created chances themselves, and they are behind. But it's not been it has been quite dominant from City, but they haven't created as many chances as they have done in the past. But they are looking to get the job done.
Riyad Mahrez being the assist in that goal for Raheem Sterling, that takes Riyad Mahrez's assist tally up to 3 this season. And like I said many times this game, Raheem Sterling goal tally goes up to 9 so far this season, only having played 22 games so far this season in the Premier League for City. As Rob Holding's just coming off for me, we do look like we might be doing another watch along on Tuesday for the Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea game. We'll let you know. Check out our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify. Well, Spotify's for the podcast, but yeah, tune in for that as well. But yeah, just make sure to go over to there. We have made some Instagram changes. We're starting to get a bit more interaction with you guys. So yeah, it'll be much appreciated if you could go over there and give us a follow to keep up with the latest JDA news. As Rob Holding looks like he's coming off for David Luiz, which Alex was right. So would Arsenal fans be happy, Alex, considering you could have gone for a more attacking wave?
I think David Luiz will bring a bit more experience into the back line, obviously defending against the counter-attacks that City have. But I think Arteta could have made a more attacking substitution because he has got nothing to lose. And if he does somehow get a goal, then they will be level. So, yeah, I don't know whether it's the right decision to make or not. But if they did bring on another attacking player and play 3 at the back, then they might be caught out a bit more by Man City, and that could be a very negative substitution. So,
Yes, as Rob Holding comes off, and it is a concussion substitution. So Rob Holding can come back on due to these new rules for David Luiz. But we'll see if Arteta makes that change as City come on the attack with Gundogan. 7 minutes to go at the Emirates. Still 1-0 Manchester City. Raheem Sterling getting that goal for City as he comes forward on this left-hand side. He drifts past Bellerin. He drifts past Luiz, but Luiz manages to recover with El Neni in Arsenal's box. As Arsenal looks to break now with Xhaka, putting it through the legs of Fernandinho. Here comes Aubameyang on this left side. Got a lot of pace going against John Stones here, but John Stones with a brilliant, John Stones shoulder barges Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Aubameyang was looking for the foul in the end, but people say the game's gone soft, Alex, but that's a perfect way to show it's not just yet.
Yeah, that's just shoulder to shoulder. It's not a foul. Aubameyang's gone down very easy, but he's been sent into next week. So, yeah.
Of course, Aubameyang has been matched for pace by John Stones a lot this game, and it's been shown yet again there. Stones looks a whole new player. Do you reckon he could get back into that England side, Alex?
He has to at this point. Like, he's been probably the best English centre-back this season. But, I mean, there's been also quite a lot of English centre-backs as well that have had a good season, like Ezri Konsa for Aston Villa. He's had a very good season. Michael Keane maybe could even nip back into it. But, I mean, ultimately, Gareth Southgate's only playing with 2 centre-backs and probably going to be Maguire and probably Stones at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Southgate's thinking behind that. As City did look like they were going to attack, but Ruben Diaz goes back to Ederson, who will look to kick it long with Lacazette and Arsenal pressing from the front. It's a ball in behind, but David Luiz deals with it as Arsenal look to set off with an attack. But as I say that, Fernandinho wins the ball off El Neni on this left side. He gets it to Gundogan, but yet again shielded well out by Arsenal. This time Emil Smith-Rowe coming back and doing a brilliant job for Arsenal defensively as Arsenal take the goal kick quickly. Leno to Hector Bellerin on this right side. And Saka comes and looks to go into the centre of the pitch. He gets fouled in the end by Gabriel Jesus. 1 shot on target so far this second half with Manchester City getting that shot on target, but it's all good in the end by Saka and Jesus. But Saka feeling the after effects of that challenge as Ceballos comes on for Mohamed El Neni. Of course, El Neni so far this season, this is his 14th game, so he is going to come off. What would you say his performance has been like, Alex? El Neni?
He's definitely been better in the second half, but I mean, his build-up play has just been too slow for Arsenal. Like they've let Man City come back and defend how they want to defend. So it's not been the best performance passing wise, but in terms of keeping play, he's been quite decent. So
yeah, he will come off for Dani Ceballos, who of course is on loan from Real Madrid. He was a part of that 2017-18 team that did win the Champions League, 1 of 3. So he's bringing some experience as Arsenal come on the attack. Lacazette to Tierney on this left-hand side. It comes into Aubameyang, but he couldn't get his head very forcefully to the ball as City attack with Gabriel Jesus winning it. And he's got past 1, he's got past 2, and it's a foul by Hector Bellerin in the end. And I'm sure John Moss will be getting his yellow card out here. Pablo Mari isn't having any of it, but Hector Bellerin getting a yellow card here as Jesus goes down for the foul. Bernardo Silva, a lofted ball up. Jesus fights for it. Pablo Mari looks for the foul, and then he gets past Xhaka, and then Hector Bellerin comes in with the foul, the 25-year-old on Gabriel Jesus, 23-year-old. Bellerin's 8th yellow card of the season. 2 more for him, and he will get a match suspension, which Arsenal will miss out, considering they don't really have a lot of depth at that right back position anymore, do they, Alex, with Ainsley Maitland-Niles wanting more game time?
No, and I mean, they've sold quite a few defenders as well. Saliba, I think, could have dropped into the right back position, maybe even Kolasinac, but they've sold them all, and they'll probably have to play a youth team player at right back if Bellerin does get injured. But he's been all right this season. He's not world class or anything like that, but he's a decent right back. So I think Arsenal and Arteta will be content with him.
Yep, as Gundogan came down this left-hand side and he put a ball into the box, but it was dealt with by the Arsenal players as Manchester City do have a corner now. A pair of Stones and Ruben Diaz have come up, it looks like here, as it looks like it's going to be taken short again by City with Bernardo Silva playing it to Jesus. It looked like they're going in the corner then, but Arsenal win it, but City win it straight back with Zinchenko. It ends up a foul in the end. Lacazette takes the free kick quickly on this right side with David Luiz picking the ball up just outside Arsenal's box. 88th minute, 2 minutes to go plus added time. Still 1-0 Manchester City. Arsenal need a bit more urgency now as they get the free kick in Manchester City's half, Alex.
Yeah, they need to start booting upfield and maybe winning a header in the final third, but they haven't really offered anything in Manchester City's box, and I think that's why City have found it so easy to defend against. I would have started Lacazette if I was Mikel Arteta, because Aubameyang offered nothing in attack. He wasn't really running for the ball that much, so yeah, maybe he's got that to think about next time. But
as Arsenal City come on the attack, sorry for interrupting you, Alex. Jesus over the bar. But yeah, the timer has gone off. But like I said, that
4 minutes of added time.
Added time, as Alex has just said there. 4 minutes of added time at the Emirates. I would get the clock back up, but I can't get the settings right just yet. And I watch the game as Stones picks the ball up, gets it to Gundogan, still on this left side for City. Zinchenko, Ederson looks like he's going to make a big kick up the pitch, which he does. Of course, broke the world record for the longest kick with a football on a pitch back in 2017 as Riyad Mahrez gets fouled by the Brazilian David Luiz. 90th minute now, as Alex said, 4 minutes of added time. Do you reckon City will just sit this one out, pass it around, possession ball?
That's what they look like they're going to do. Realistically, they could even nick another goal if Arsenal push up as high as they're planning to. But yeah, it's most likely they're just going to maybe take it to the corner or just play it around the back, because yeah, Arsenal don't really look like they're going to get much from this game. And they haven't really looked like it in an attacking sense at all. But it'll be interesting to see what the possession is after this half, because I feel like it's been mostly Arsenal, but they haven't really done anything with it.
Yep, as it summed up in their free kick, a long ball over to the back post, but David Luiz, well, it looked like it was going to David Luiz and he wanted it, but there were two City players who just looked like they were going to head it, and one did in the end. As Leno kicks up, 3 minutes to go at the Emirates, still 1-0 to Manchester City, with Sterling getting the goal. City look like they're sitting back, although Bernardo Silva is the one pressing. Ceballos picks out Saka brilliantly. Saka with a turn of pace against Zinchenko. He keeps it in, but no Arsenal player was there, as Zinchenko, on his weaker foot, blasts it up as David Luiz gets the header. Fernandinho back to Arsenal with another header, and Riyad Mahrez pressing from the front. Leno plays that ball back over to Kieran Tierney on this left-hand side. Tierney with a big ball up to David Luiz. David Luiz definitely wasn't going for the ball there, as he looked at Ruben Diaz before he went and challenged for the header. But yeah, Diaz gone down here, and I'm pretty sure he'll just wait this one out, with Diaz having the most touches with 92 and 84 passes. That is Sky Sports Man of the Match. Ruben Diaz, of course, Alex will give his Man of the Match at the end of the game, just going by what we usually do. But yeah, 2 minutes of added time here at the Emirates. Yeah, Diaz just getting up to his feet, as there is 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. I think it's finished in Alex's game.
Yeah.
Alex's, so Yeah, we'll just wait for mine, and then we will go on to the man of the match of the game between Arsenal and Manchester City, as it buffers for me just a little bit. Ederson with the long ball up to Sterling. David Luiz, all 6'2" of him, has won that against Sterling. Here comes Gundogan. Gets fouled in the end. Arsenal, yet another foul on a City player. This time, Ilkay Gundogan. The Croydon De Bruyne gave it away to Manchester City. The free kick with Sterling on this left-hand side, picking the ball up. And it looks like it's gone out of play. City do play on there with Gabriel Jesus as John Moss calls for another free kick to Manchester City, as Pep Guardiola indicates from the touchline for City to go to the corner flag and keep this 1-goal lead, as Jesus wins the ball, uses his strength against Ceballos, and yet another foul from Ceballos and Arsenal on Gabriel Jesus. 14 seconds to go here at the Emirates, still 1-0 to Manchester City, and it looks like they're going to see this one out with John Moss. His full black kit lining the marker down for the free kick to be indicated. I'm sure this last play will be played out and Manchester City will get the 3 points. John Moss blows his whistle. Sterling to Jesus. Saka presses. All the Arsenal youth players, including Emil Smith Rowe, Saka presses. Jesus loses out in the end. Bellerin looks like he wants to rush this forwards. Will this eat out of Arsenal's time here? Bellerin on this right side gets it to David Luiz. David Luiz with a big ball up. Headed away by Zinchenko, though. City still in Arsenal's half as Xhaka gets it back to Bernd Leno, who rolls it out to Kieran Tierney on this left-hand side. And it's a good ball to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but it's just gone out of play. And John Moss blows his whistle as Manchester City win their 18th consecutive win in a row in all competitions. For Manchester City, that is a fist pump by the master and the apprentice, that is Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta. But Alex, full time here at the Emirates, 1-0 to Manchester City. Raheem Sterling getting that vital goal, his 9th of the season. Riyad Mahrez getting his 3rd assist of the season. What were your thoughts on the game, Alex?
Second half, it kind of died down a bit. There wasn't many chances for either side in terms of good chances over the whole of the game, actually. And I think there was only 2 good chances in the whole of the match, and they both dropped to City. One was the goal for Sterling, and then Cancelo late on in the second half. He probably should have scored from very close in. But again, it's another domination from Manchester City most of the match, but Arsenal did slowly try to build in the second half, but didn't really work out, and City go away with the 3 points.
Yep, of course, like I said, at the end of the game, City 18th consecutive victory this season in a row. Kevin De Bruyne makes his return to the starting 11. We didn't see anything of Sergio Aguero, though. But Alex, who was your man of the match?
I think it's between Diaz and Sterling for me.
If you had to pick one, who would you pick?
I'll probably have to go Diaz. He was just defensively very good and controlled the game for most of the game. So, yeah, probably going to have to go with him.
Of course, most touches in the game Ruben Diaz had with 94. Of course, Arsenal lacked a bit of urgency, didn't they, Alex?
Yeah, even in the last 10 minutes, like they were just hitting balls over the top and no one was really running for them. And it just gave City the time to get back, get into position and just defend very well. So it was almost too easy for City at some points. And Arsenal really never looked like scoring. So, yeah, I think 1-0 is probably the correct score.
Yep, we'll just look at the table and see what that means for Arsenal and City in the upcoming games. So Manchester City sitting comfortably at the top of the Premier League in first, with not losing, as I said, in their last 18 consecutive games. Last 5 games, they've won all of them. And then Leicester City behind them, of course, played today. United still yet to play against Newcastle United, and I think United will go above them on goal difference if they do win against Newcastle. West Ham sitting in 4th, Chelsea 5th, Liverpool 6th, Everton 7th, same points as Liverpool in 6th, though. Arsenal, that means for them, they could have gone above Spurs because Spurs lost today against West Ham 2-1, but they couldn't do that today. And yeah, Wolves and Leeds look like they're threatening Arsenal in that 10th position, Alex, a bit more.
Yeah, well, they've been very inconsistent this season, Wolves. But I mean, 3-4 teams behind them, I could really see going ahead of Arsenal if they don't start picking up some more points. Like Wolves, they've had a very inconsistent season, but they can get wins. Leeds, we've seen, can pretty much beat anyone on their day. Southampton, they haven't had a very good streak. I think they had 6 defeats in a row before the draw to Chelsea. So I could also, if they start getting on form, I could also see them going ahead. But yeah, Arsenal do need to start picking up some more wins.
Yep, of course, they've only won 2 of their last 5 games, so Arteta will look to improve that. But Arsenal have still got the Europa League, though, on Thursday against Benfica. I believe that will take place at the Emirates. City have another game in midweek as well in the Champions League against Borussia Mönchengladbach, 7th in the league, Bundesliga team. But yeah, thank you if you did enjoy the stream. Cheers. But yeah, that is a bye from us. And yeah, we'll see you in the next live stream. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the social medias: Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, etc. But yeah, that's it from us. Have a good rest of your evening, and goodbye.